Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 31 of Changeling the Lost, Viva Lost Vegas. Uh, we're closing in on the end. Only a handful more sessions left. So, as we dive in today, uh, just a couple of quick announcements, like always. Uh, Onyx Path game night is going to be on the last Friday of the month, which is the 24th. That is next Friday. Uh, if anyone is interested in it, you can find information on the Discord, but there's also a little bit of a special going on in that any new user who is interested in playing a game uh, via Start Playing can get $10 of credit at this link here in the chat. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and hop right on in. So, today is Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. What have you been doing over the last 3 days? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So, last last week we had when Kit had visited Delilah. He had heard that she was dreaming of a red-eyed figure that was bothering her while she was sleeping. And that seems like a bad idea, and we've got enough bad things going on. We're not going to leave that one sitting around. So, me and Kit went to check that one out. I'll let Kit explain what went down. Um, After that, I went and looked into ways of boosting an empathy check over at the Goblin Market. I got pointed towards a couple of resources, and I picked up some equipment that will help with the rolls. And lastly, I spent some social capital with my contacts and allies to get some good press. Got some critics in to review the place, send some rumors flying, plan some events. We're just trying to get the Red Room into a lot of people's mouths. And, well, we were able to get some referrals to the new franchise, The Red Room. Our numbers are going up. Looks like we're in a good state to impress some people for when I set up a certain other bar for failure and people start asking, why don't we look into a new person to handle this? Which, soon, very soon.
Alrighty, who wants to go next?
So, uh, I have been pretty much focusing down on things here. So the first day, went into Delilah's dreams to see what was going on there, and didn't get a lot of details, but I was able to catch a few um, passing glimpses of a transparent figure that appears to be a hedge ghost, and so we're gonna need to deal with that. And also for days 2 and 3, I spent the entire time trying to investigate the Lord of Tales and see if I can get something to work off of to fight back.
Because we certainly need some help on that one. Oh, God.
So for my day one, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's your turn.
For my day one, I decided to patrol my turf, which is getting easier every day. Apparently, less of their people show up every day. Um, you can only take getting beaten into the ground so many times and having your drugs stolen before you stop going there. So that's a good news. On day two, I inquired from Keith, who is the Winter Court noble spy master person, what they know about the Lord of Tales' frailties and banes. And he informs me that next to nothing is what they know. Next to nothing, except that he has a really big penchant for books, which, on one hand, I get it, but we already gathered that part based on the fact that he cringed when I ripped the book cover off and then made him sign it. So, and then day 3, I asked around from the Winter Court Knights about where I could find cold iron, which is going to be super important soon. And I was told that for iron to fit the mystic definition of cold iron, it simply has to have been forged by hand and not mass produced. So the best places to find it are places that sell antiques or deal in artisan goods. So we're going to be going antiquing.
Yep, and I'm gonna have to go bother the SCA.
Alrighty. Thanks, everybody. Now that we've got downtime out of the way, we can go ahead and hop right in. Today is Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. Oh, and it looks like we've got a raid. Welcome, everybody. We're just getting into our game.
Welcome! Come on in, settle in. Perfect time to arrive.
Thanks for the raid. We all appreciate it.
Well,
So, as I was mentioning, today is Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. The three of you have been called to court along with everyone else, as it appears that there is an announcement to give. Agatha has made sure that everyone knows to be here at sunset on the dot. So, you guys are turning up to court.
Yeah.
Feel free to take it from here.
alright. So we're heading into court. I mean, I have a place I belong at court. I'm gonna go hit the bar, see what you guys need to handle before we head on out from there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be in a spot where I can get a decent view of people as they're coming in, as people a decent view of people as they're mingling and stuff like that before court begins.
And I am up in front of the dais, not on the dais, but in front of it, with a few Grimalkins teaching them how to fence with Bob.
So, there is a tense atmosphere at court.
I wonder why.
The four monarchs are sitting on their thrones atop the dais, not talking to each other, simply casting the occasional worried look. The Grimalkins are doing their best to keep up, handing around food and drinks, a handful going in each direction. But the gloom in the sub-basement refuses to go away. After several moments, when the royals are good and sure that everyone who is going to arrive has, Agatha steps up and claps her weathered hands. "Hello, everybody," she says. "As the reigning queen of the court, it is my displeasure to give you some dire news. I believe everyone here will remember the recent new moon hunt." you will remember what was lost and what was gained. At this note, Agatha motions for one of the Autumn Knights to bring out a heavily locked box, a small chest of mahogany wood wrapped about in what appears to be chains of pure iron. The knight does very careful not to touch any of the metal, staying away from it and gripping it only by the wooden ends. Herein lies the title that was left behind when the traitor Oliver Oakenheart was taken from this world by the Lord of Tales. She reaches into her pocket and brings out a piece of parchment. And here is something we received from an Arcadian messenger earlier today. I will not read it verbatim. There is no need. But I will tell you what this missive contained. The Lord of Tales demands that the freehold return the title to him by New Year's Day. Or, he states, we shall face the consequences. Immediately, the freehold erupts into shouting as every courtier decides to voice their opinion at once.
I am sitting here with a pile of glassware and a certain amount of social presence. With a careful bit of a fork, I'm going to do the whole tap, 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 tap thing to try and drown out the noise and get everybody to listen. Would you accept a presence plus socialize on that one?
I think this is going to have to be like presence plus persuasion since you're trying to do something leaderly here.
Sounds great. I can do presence plus persuasion. Alright. Okay, so that...
Do you want assistance?
If you guys are willing to assist and able, I'm always happy to get it.
Please describe what you are doing to assist after you've made your rolls.
I forgot that I'm wearing clothes, but I still got 2 successes. So, Kenzie is also holding up a glass and dinging against it, and is telling the Grimalkins to as well.
So we're getting echoes of it all around the hall from the Grimalkins. Alright, with that, that's 15 dice for me. Let's see how that looks. 4 successes.
All right. The majority of the arguing courtiers go silent to listen to Elliot.
Gentlemen, ladies, everyone else, please. I understand that this is a very trying time, but we have had faith in our leaders up till now. Let Agatha continue with what they're saying. Tell us what they know, and perhaps we can then, from there, speak orderly after our gathering is done. Make decisions as a freehold as we have always done. Please. I understand these are times for frayed nerves, but this freehold has held firm against threats greater than this.
The courtiers fall into a reluctant and sullen silence. Agatha clears her throat and pointedly does not say thank you before continuing. we have just over 3 weeks to discuss what we shall be doing. And during that time period, the seasonal crown will pass to the Winter Court. So I am in no position to make a unilateral decision for the freehold. Just know that however we choose to handle this, it will be after careful consideration is made. Several voices from the crowd erupt again. You can make out a few different arguments. Someone screams that they have to give back the title, or else they'll all die. And someone else is screaming that to give back the title would be suicide, that the Lord has been weakened, and to re-strengthen him would be foolhardy. This time, Agatha seems to simply wait for the crowd to become silent before putting up her hand and stating once again, "We have 3 weeks before the Lord's deadline is comes around." Oh, thank you, Void. We will spend these 3 weeks to discuss what we shall do, and then we shall take action after careful consideration, but not before. She sits back down and waves her hand, indicating the end of the announcement, and that everyone may go about their business.
All right. So, I guess the first question is Agatha immediately swarmed after this?
Quite a few courtiers who think they have advice to hand out, whether or not they are informed or important enough to do so, have swarmed the dais, attempting to speak all at once.
I'll step in. I'll step in between, and start basically fielding their advice, essentially. Taking, letting them know that I'll speak with each one of them and make sure that the monarch gets their advice. But as for now, Agatha has important discussions that they need to have with the other monarchs, and start ushering them to the side.
Give me a roll for that. Do you have a dice pool in mind, or you want me to assign one?
That seems like bodyguard work. Do you have intimidation, perhaps?
Yeah, of sorts.
And Bob assist?
Yeah.
Well, he's your retainer, so he can assist if you want him to.
Add 3 to your dice pool.
Give me just a moment. I'm going to pass around some drinks and politely try and encourage people to move along where he's gesturing them off to. Carrot to his stick. So that's 4, 6. So that's an additional 3 for you, Tibbs.
Okay, so
Grand total of 6 on whatever you have.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me see. Five
Dang.
successes.
All right. With the officiousness of an autumn night, Kit is able to feel the concerns of nobles and courtiers alike. Several dozen questions are written, pieces of advice are written down in very official handwriting to be used at Kit's discretion or not later. This process is long and drawn out and takes roughly 30 minutes.
While he's handling that, I walk over to Agatha, nod, and say, "Just got one question for you, and then I promise I'll leave you alone like everyone else."
Agatha looks less than pleased that that you jumped the queue of people who are attempting to bother her to do the exact same thing, but does not wave you away.
Does Autumn know anything about the Lord of Tales' frailties?
She shoots you a look that could possibly kill if it were empowered by the weird, and hisses, "This is not the time or place to discuss that."
Of course. My apologies. I walk away, giving them the air and letting Kit handle his duties.
Right, and Elliot, would you mind making a chance roll for me, please?
Success, 9.
While a handful of the people trying to proffer advice and ask questions seem to perk their ears at the mention of the Lord of Tales and his hypothetical frailties, they are far too absorbed in what they are doing currently in order to follow this line of reasoning and simply go back to swarming Kit.
Kenzie walks up to Will and waits to be acknowledged because she's learning.
After several slow moments, Will looks over at you. He is currently not being swarmed by dozens of courtiers, so there is a some amount of surprise across his marble face. Yes, Knight Morgan?
What do you think needs to be done?
Can you roll me a chance die, please?
Yes.
I swear to God, if he mentions the Four Seasons, I'm gonna be throwing hands.
I got a 1.
Our course of action is clear, he says, loud enough for all the people nearby to hear. We cannot give this title back to the Lord of Tales. To do so would be to invite our own destruction. As if on cue, about half the court that can hear him burst into loud shouts
Kenzie?
decrying this.
Kenzie?
Yeah.
I would not tell you to do this normally. Rewind time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay the glamour, and I'm gonna do the other thing that I came here to do. So,
Question.
Yeah.
Do you really, truly think that's worth your glamour to do so?
I don't
You,
know because I can only use that once per chapter.
That's a session.
you may do so if you wish. I will not stop you. But do you believe that this is an appropriate time to do it?
I'm just worried about the fucking place burning down while we're not here.
I will listen to the voice of reason that comes with alcohol, I guess.
Do you,
And we will rewind time. What was happening 10 seconds ago, Kenny?
I
Well,
believe you
that was
just.
before you asked the king to very publicly offer his opinion.
Well, I thought he would just do it like man to man right here, like in a normal voice, not as.
He's on a dais in the center of the room, which is currently surrounded by a few dozen courtiers.
Yeah, but we're like buddies, we're pals, we're hombres, compadres.
And he's working.
Ugh. Okay.
Kenzie sounds like the sort of person who would ask out the cashier while she's busy at work.
Honestly, she probably would. Ugh. Okay, I have another idea, but it's really risky, guys. Do I go for it?
That's Kenzie's whole thing, right?
So, if I do this, it would be taking some of those pills that we got from lockup and slipping it into Will's drink.
No. It if it's not consistent, it won't help.
It could be consistent. I just have to poison him with his own medicine for a few weeks.
I have a question. Do you think you are better at poisoning than the most paranoid man in existence is at noticing someone trying to do that?
If you wish to do this, this will be a dexterity plus larceny at a -5.
Well, that made my decision. Okay, so we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to wait for Will to acknowledge me and I'm going to ask, hey, what's up?
After several moments of waiting, Will takes in the question, a look of mild shock crossing his marbled face, before spreading his hands and saying, "Well, it appear quietly it appears that the court is in the midst of a panic."
Yep, that it does.
That would be what I would say is up.
So, do you have time to meet with me this week in private when we're not in the middle of court on a dais?
Mildly intrigued, when would you propose?
In the next few days, vague day action area.
I don't quite have a hang of the language yet, but I think after I go shopping during the rain.
Will nods, appreciating the attempt, and says, "That makes sense. Thank you for your candor."
I feel like I just fucked that up somehow, but sometime this week, and I'll just get in contact with you, or you can get in contact with me.
Well, I take back the thanks for your candor, since you have undone the candor. But yes,
Excellent. Thanks, boss. And Kenzie moves away and gets the fuck out of there.
All right. So, let's get the fuck out of here.
I'm still working. I'm gonna be here for a bit.
Well, when you're done, then we're leaving.
Yeah. All right.
I go around and make sure there's plenty of alcohol to calm some nerves and wait until we finally have access to a certain night again.
Kenzie passes along a sign-up sheet to all the Grimalkins for battle training.
Eventually, the courtiers swarming Kit go away. The panic diffuses since the threat, while uh, one that would raise any courtier's hackles, is still over 3 weeks in the future. Kit is eventually freed from his duty to pursue his own interests once again.
All right. So, I believe we have a meeting with a family member of yours.
Yeah.
Shall we let them know we're coming, or shall we just go and visit?
I'm. Let's just kind of show up. I have a feeling that might be better
All
in
right.
this scenario.
All right. So head off to Dreamland and go visit them in their dreams, then.
Yep.
All right. Well, then I suppose let's get Eddie and set up, and we'll get going. Guess we go off into the hedge by a nearby exit.
All right. And you guys want to visit in the dreams instead of awake?
I believe that was the plan.
All right.
Okay, so we're just heading to their dreams to go find this hedge ghost. Coast to coast.
So, it's not hard to find your way into the hedge, especially here in the sub basement where there are dozens of entrances onto various trods. Uh, Delilah's bastion, though, is going to be a bit of a different question. I believe this would be your first time going there.
Yup.
No, didn't we go there earlier this week in their downtimes?
Oh, yes, that's a good point. So, in that case, let's do a fairly standard hedge navigation roll, please. Scope of 5.
You got it.
I'm going to invoke the pledge that I have with Delilah. Can I do that?
Alrighty. I believe there shouldn't be any problem with that.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the aspect that I took with it means that I can locate them.
So, can I check Changeling 101 in my brain? Do Fey Touched have the same thing where they're also aware in their dreams?
Not unless they take Lucid Dreamer, no.
So, not necessarily. That saves us a lot of time.
Yep.
They're just gonna wake up and have a dream, and you were there! And you were there!
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so... Yeah, standard chase then?
Bear with me just a moment.
Yep.
Okay, so here's what we know. Red-eyed, translucent figure showing up, watching Delilah's dreams. Haven't really had a context for why this happened, but it's not like Delilah hasn't made a couple of enemies who are dead now. By the way, do we still have that lawyer's lawyer's card. I know they don't like us, but I'm pretty sure lawyers universally like money.
Unless you've done something with it, I would believe so, yes.
We might need to talk to them about maybe both getting scarce for the next month.
Yeah.
So I double checked just to be sure, and yes, lucid dreamer is something they would have to take as a merit. They don't get it automatically the way that changelings do.
Okay.
Wonderful. That is the best thing to hear all day, because I really don't want to explain what I'm there to do.
Hello, everyone. Hydrate. Thank you.
Okay.
Called it.
Hydrate comes in a little glass vial. Thank you, called it.
Okay. So just simple hedge navigation. So, Kinsey, you want to start us off?
Yeah. Let's see. We're going to be getting into her dreams, so I'm going to say to pick our way through the hedge, let's do dexterity plus empathy.
Whew. Well, I am ready to help you with that.
Excellent. Why don't you roll to assist, and I will make a full roll with my brand new professional training in being a dealer.
I do not help you.
That is okay. Tibbs, are you helping?
No, I'm two luck dice on that dice pool.
Okay.
Wait, no.
Dex plus empathy?
No, it's a dice pool of 4, so it's at least worth rolling.
The continuing ability of Elliot to never empathize with anyone is getting to be a little concerning.
So 2 successes on that, by the way.
Alrighty.
And I'm paying a willpower.
Nice.
Exceptional success. 8 successes.
And the hedge got 1, so that's enough to navigate successfully in the 1 turn. Congratulations.
Well done.
I feel like someone needs me over there.
Kenzie is able to lead the motley onto a well-worn trod, past the various dangers of the hedge, as the group can hear various hobgoblins in the distance. The group is led through a gate of horn and onto the Dreaming Roads. Twilight falls across the glass thorns of the Las Vegas hedge as the group makes their way further and further inside. Finally, Kit and Elliot are able to point out a trod that they remember from their previous expedition to Delilah's bastion. They find it again in the same place they remember before. This time, the bastion has taken a familiar shape. It appears as though you are standing outside the door of the Emerald City Casino. However, the bastion is identifiably different, as there are various flowering vines growing all over it. And from inside, you believe you can hear the calls of birds and other animals.
All right.
All right.
So it's a casino. I've got some chips on me, I think. Want to see if that gets us in?
I'm going to walk up to the bastion and identify myself and say that I'm here to see Delilah.
I mean, there's no reason why that wouldn't necessarily work.
Give me a roll.
Um, let's say I'm trying to think of what would be a good role for that.
What roles do you have in the social, and what ones do you have any dots on whatsoever?
In social,
Yeah,
animal kid. I don't think that's quite appropriate.
not quite.
How about Elliot be the one do the talking on this?
Uh,
The three of us
Actually,
walk up
I got a
together.
perfect one. Why don't you do just presence plus persuasion? You just happen to be using somebody else's dice for today.
Yeah. Why don't you do the talking,
All right.
saying we are here
Yep.
to see Delilah.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm pretty good at talking. Presence plus persuasion in all of my duds. Sorry. Kit Cotton here to see Delilah.
Alrighty, make
Doing
your
my
rolls.
best secretary.
Well, as we like to say here, a success is a success, regardless of the number of dice rolled,
Yeah.
unless you're going for an exceptional. After screaming your request at the doors, after several moments, you can hear the vines rip as one of the doors are opened. A baboon knuckles its way out of the door, wearing a bedraggled concierge uniform. It looks up at you, flaring its nostrils several times as though sizing you up.
Want to use that animal kind now?
All right. So I would like to. Let's see here. I have almost no social dice.
How's your composure?
Composure's really good, actually.
Yeah, composure plus animal ken. You belong here. Act natural and walk through the door.
Yeah, all right. Works for me. That work for you, Kenny?
Makes sense to me.
Do you want help?
Yeah. Always.
I will also help.
+4. Plus whatever Kenzie says. Don't be suspicious.
Okay.
Plus another 4.
Be suspicious.
8 successes?
So literally, the successes we gave you.
Yeah, looks like it.
The
Nice.
baboon looks up at each of you in turn as you walk through the door. It doesn't make a move at all until you're inside, after which it closes the door and, hooting silently to itself, knuckles away. You find yourself in the lobby of the Emerald City Casino, but somewhat different than you remember. The ceiling has been replaced by a canopy of thick vines and tree leaves. Where small potted plants would normally be in the normal casino, you can see huge trees sprouting from the dirty carpet. In the mild distance, you can hear the clanging of uh, slot machine bells mixed with the sounds of various jungle animals.
Okay. So, here we are.
Alrighty, that's okay. So I imagine that we take see if I can find the elevator and take it up to the executive suite.
I mean, it'd be a sensible place to find them. We actually know this place. I got mugged here.
No, you didn't get mugged. You got beat up.
Tortured? How do we want to go with this? I
Yeah,
got hit
yeah,
in the
tortured.
face with a
Tortured.
brick.
You had a good old Las Vegas time.
It's like I was counting cards all over again. Alright. We head off to the elevator and find our way up.
You make your way through the foliage and down the hallway to to where the elevators are. Waiting politely in front of the elevator, you see a full-size tiger. It's wearing a baseball cap that says "I love New York." The tiger looks at you, exhales through its nose, and turns back to the elevator.
When the
So what?
elevator opens, I usher it on first.
After a moment or two of waiting, the elevator arrives. The elevator doesn't look much different, thankfully. The tiger graciously accepts your offer and pads its way uh, into the elevator.
We follow in after. We have no reason to believe this tiger is dangerous yet, other than the fact he's a tourist. Does he have a fanny pack?
Yes,
Ah. Yep. Just as I thought.
Yeah, we're good. Is there enough room for us?
there isn't a whole lot of room. A adult tiger is pretty large, but the three of you are able to uh, cram your way in. The
All right.
tiger snarls quietly to itself in discomfort as the elevator rises through the shaft. Thank you, Void. Hydrate, everybody.
Hydrate.
All right. So I'd like to roll a. Let's do Dex plus Animal Kin to uh, to to because it is such a tight space. I'm going to reach into and I'm going to reach into my back pocket and pull out a trout to give to the tiger as way of apology.
Is
You're not-
this hedge spinning, or do you
Yes.
have a trout?
This is head spinning, or dream weaving, whatever.
Dream, yeah. Oh, Neuromancy.
A
Dreaming.
neuromancy. Yes.
I. You're feeding the tourists. You know
It's-
they'll
it's
never
only-
leave.
It's good for the economy.
Fair enough.
All right, make a roll.
One success.
Well, let's see. Bear with me.
Rawr.
If I'm not mistaken, it's I have to have at least 2 successes to do anything, correct? Because it costs 1 to even create an effect.
As I
Right?
understand it, but let me double check.
Okay.
Well, you might not have a trout, but you definitely have some fish on you because
Yeah.
we are saps and are dealing with the freehold cats regularly.
I mean, am I able? I mean, at the very least, I can attempt to open up and pull the some catnip out of the hammer space. But
Hey
I
man, you want to get arrested?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, as I understand it, that is exactly how it works. So it looks like you don't uh, have any successes to spend on anything.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I guess we wait out the elevator ride then.
Yep.
We're headed to the penthouse, and I'm sure that the cat is getting off before then.
Eventually, the tiger does exit the elevator, uh, snarling to itself once more as it exits and heads into another jungled floor of the casino. Uh, After several moments, uh, the elevator finally makes its way to the penthouse, where uh, the executive suites are. This area is much as you remember it. Uh, the biggest difference being that the vines have overgrown all the walls. But at the very end, you can see the double doors leading into the president's office.
Well, no sense avoiding it.
Yeah.
Uh, I knock on the door with my best grinning, whatchamacallit, functionary's voice. Ah, Kit Cotton to see you, ma'am.
The door doesn't open, but you do hear sound from the other side. Uh, Several muffled thumps.
I take that as an excuse to enter and open the door, ushering Kit inside.
Yep.
The president's office uh, is quite a bit less magnificent than you remember, mainly as it appears to have been replaced largely with a lushly decorated cave. Stalactites dripping from the ceiling and rotting vegetation covering the floor. The desk is still where you would remember it. Uh, as the three of you step inside, uh, you feel something large snaking past your legs. Please give me a dexterity plus athletics roll to stay upright, please.
Well, all right. One success.
4 successes.
2 successes.
The three of you stumble but do not fall. Uh, your eyes follow what bumped into you, and you can and you see hopping along the corridor a small auburn rabbit, terrified out of its mind.
Oh. Cotton. Tail.
Yep.
Well, I believe I don't remember this perfectly, but I believe that Delilah was complaining about being chased by the creature in question. So if we follow Delilah, we will probably find what's chasing them in short order. Yeah.
Well, I think it just ran by our feet, honestly.
I think that is Delilah.
Regardless, let's keep up with the rabbit and keep our eyes open.
Yep.
Speaking of which, we have an incredibly good pair of eyes.
All right. As you turn around to give chase, the doors shut directly in front of you.
Of course. And I take it they're locked?
Yes.
I don't suppose
Can I
it's
lockpick them?
You can certainly make an attempt.
Dexterity plus larceny?
Hmm?
Hey guys, do me a favor and turn around.
I do.
Yep, same.
Okay, I'm gonna use my unseen bonus. Specialty, sorry.
Oh, that's an excellent question. Do they get their bonus if we're not looking at them?
That is a good question. Here's a good answer. Uh, you definitely feel eyes upon you, even if the others are turned around.
Hey! Hey, person with the really good eyes, you mind taking a look around in here?
Yeah.
Can I get
Eh.
a perception check?
That's composure plus
Wits.
wits plus composure. Okay. With I believe I get 9 again. Or is it 8 again? With the trained observer maxed out. Sorry, it's been a little bit.
I can look.
I'm already on it. Give me a
Trained
sec.
observer.
Just 8 again. Okay. Two successes.
All right. Kit looks into the gloom of the cave. He catches a brief glimpse of red eyes watching from an upper corner. As soon as he sees the eyes, they immediately disappear. By this point, Kinsey has unlocked the door.
So, anyone got a survival roll worth a damn? I think it's Wabbit season.
So I actually had an interesting idea.
Thank you, by the way, Kenzie, for getting the door open.
My pleasure.
I would like to actually try to do another perception check, but this time to be able to draw into the dream the my memories of what the
Emerald City Casino looked like in the real world. Basically, shunting away all the jungle and all the uh, caves and all that kind of stuff.
All right. What do you think would be an appropriate pool for that? Or I can assign one if you wish.
I was thinking perception because I'm drawing on what I've observed when I was in the building.
That is for observing things, not remembering things.
Uh,
That, I believe, would be something along the lines of intelligence plus academics or investigation.
a wits plus investigation?
Not wits. No, definitely not wits. This is more of an intelligence roll.
Okay. Okay.
Intelligence plus academics, I would say, for remembering the details of the real place.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Um, so you're trying to bring some reality back to us.
Yeah, basically, I'm my goal is to push away the brush and the trees and all the stuff that things can be hiding in, essentially.
Ah, you're trying to clear the
You know,
path.
yeah, yeah. What's plus survival to to take a machete to the environment and clear the brush away?
That makes sense to me.
Thank you, Jeff.
Would you like
You,
assistance?
yes, always.
Wits plus survival, right?
Yeah.
All right. Lucky you. This is one of the things I have a dot in.
2 successes from me.
Okay, so that's gonna be 9.
Grand total of 4 from everyone else.
4 successes.
So you got
So
7 to play with.
okay, we have 7 successes to play with.
Yep. Oh wait, sorry, I misunderstood. My brain's a little fried.
Kit rolled
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of something else. My apologies.
Okay. Would you count this as making a minor location change? Push it, clearing the brush and all that away.
Makes sense to me.
There we go. All right.
All right. So Kit is able to manifest a machete. And at the machete's touch, the foliage and deep jungle scenery melts away, but only where the machete touches. Uh, Kit is able to clear a path this way. And could I ask you to give me another perception roll? Everyone is welcome to.
Okay. Elliot can't see for shit. Actually, would you accept me taking a beat on this one, Kenny?
You want to make a dramatic failure?
Absolutely.
Sorry, give me just a second here. I'm trying to. As a changeling, I get a bonus. I just don't remember what it is.
+2, if you don't have
+2.
any clarity damage. I didn't roll it, but honestly, at this point, this is way funnier.
5 successes.
So we've got the whole spectrum here.
All right. Go ahead and take a beat, Elliot.
Thank you.
Elliot is briefly bowled over. The other two get a decent look at what did it. A humanoid figure cloaked in black mist coming off of it in streams, with bright red eyes. It runs on all fours and disappears into one of the still hidden areas of the hall that are still covered in jungle. Elliot felt a hard, cold surface touch his skin. Kinsey uh, only managed to see that whatever it is has a very human set of teeth, though a very blood-stained one. And Kit, meanwhile, got an eye full of bone. But interestingly enough, it seemed that every inch of the arm bone he saw was covered in teeth marks.
Huh. Huh. Okay, well, I'm on the ground. I'm gonna get myself to my feet. Y'all get a look at the truck that just hit me?
Human in shape.
Yeah. Um, uh, yeah. You said it was their arm that was all bony with teeth marks? Yeah. Yeah, I relay this.
Okay.
Uh,
Alright.
we should probably get after them, I
Yep.
think.
That seems like an important thing to do. So, uh, I've never actually tried this inside a dream before. I whispered to the threads of dream and night before me, a name familiar to my lips. Delilah Cotton. And feel the tug of relentless pursuit carry me on towards them.
All right.
I believe
Well,
they are in a very real way here, right? Like, that's how I've always understood this.
while you have used relentless pursuit in such ways that has had required me to put some real thought in it before, this is not one of them. Yes, I believe it works the way you believe does.
Well, let's go find that wabbit.
The pull of the contract is very welcome, as when after the doors open and you pick yourselves up, it seems that any trail that the rabbit may have made is long since gone. Where it went uh, is hard to tell. But with the pull of relentless pursuit, uh, you are pulled to a door. Upon opening this door, you find yourself looking down at what would be a plummet all the way to the casino floor if it weren't for the branches of the many trees are here making their sneaking around through each other. Between them and the hanging vines, this has created a sort of spiraling slide, though that would reach all the way to the ground. Although perhaps not the safest, as there are no walls or rails to help if you fall off.
Well, this sounds like super fucking fun. How many
Can
seconds?
I go ahead?
You go ahead.
I'd like to pull some dexterity plus subterfuge to convince this slide to have rails.
All right. Oneiromancy is a wonderful thing. Make a roll. Pitch me a pool.
God, we're playing bumper bowling. Just reaching out and pulling the rails up.
10 successes.
Dang.
Well, I think you can basically do whatever you want from the subtle shift list.
Yeah, I just want a subtle shift just to have a nice little side rail on both sides so that we don't fall off.
All right. Let's see. Well, that's under 3. Make a minor location change or create a new localized terrain feature. Either one of them, and they're both 3. So you have 6 successes left if you would like to bank some.
Yes, I would like to bank 5. Yeah?
Could I recommend actually grabbing a piece of 5+5 survival equipment for locating the individual when we get down there?
Oh, that's a great call. Yeah, I'll do that instead.
All right. That who do you want to give it to?
Tibbs.
All right, and what did you create?
I created a bunny detector. A wabbit finder.
Describe such an object.
It is a set of fuzzy bunny ears like you would get at Easter that will attune and twitch to point in the direction that the other bunny is.
It's like rabbit dowsing.
But you have to be wearing them for them to work.
So I'm gonna have 2 sets of rabbit ears.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that cause interference?
The phrasing on it was the other rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
So the implication is if the person using it is a rabbit, it doesn't track them. So I put the wabbit finders on.
Alrighty. Well, the pull of relentless pursuit points down.
I get on the slide.
Let's go.
All right. Considering that you've got rails, dexterity plus athletics, please, at a +3.
Alrighty. Thank you for installing some OSHA here. It was apparently necessary. 1 success. The dice love me tonight.
Sorry, what was the pool?
Dex plus
Dexterity
athletics.
plus athletics at +3.
Nice.
Exceptional success.
I wonder where all my dice luck went.
The three of you are able to make your way down, sliding through between the branches and the vines until you hit the ground, uh, with a couple superficial bruises, but not actually hurt. Kinsey is able to surf the branches like Tarzan, hitting the ground first.
All right, let's see if. So I'm going to see if I can do wits plus survival to start tracking the rascal, the other rascally rabbit. Let's see.
Called it for fun.
You break a lot of glass that way. Perhaps it's just a pain in the class. Anyways.
2 successes. Wow, I'm just not rolling well tonight.
They're clearly favoring someone tonight, and it's not us.
Mm-hmm.
The pull of relentless pursuit and Kit's tracking skills lead the group to find a trail of clear rabbit tracks. This leads you deeper into the jungle. Here, there are only occasional traces of the casino. Still, you can hear the sounds of the casino in the distance. The tracks lead you into a clearing where you find a roulette table sitting beside a watering hole. Half a dozen animals sit around it as a chimpanzee in a croupier's outfit spins the roulette wheel.
What are there chips on the table, or what's being gambled here?
There is a healthy mixture of Emerald City casino chips and what appears to be various types of fruit, slivers of bark, and a dead squirrel.
Ah.
I would like to place 3 dried banana chips on black.
High roller.
The chimpanzee nods enthusiastically as Kinsey approaches the table. Kinsey sits down beside a handful of flamingos in Hawaiian shirts.
I love this place. Well, I think we need to start messing with the dream itself to try and track down this hedge ghost. I am running out of ideas, and I'm sorry, Delilah's too freaking fast. I'm having trouble keeping up with them. So, I think I need to lean on this bet a little bit. I think I'm going to try and persuade Lady Luck to smile on us for this one. Presence plus persuasion as I blow on the chips and try and do all the little rituals gamblers believe could change pure chance.
All right.
All right, come on. I'm gonna banking 2 successes.
All right. So then, Kinsey, let's make an opposed roll here. Since we're going with gambling, let's have it be straight wits.
Do I get a bonus for being extra witty?
Just wits, please. Wits plus nothing.
2 successes.
All right, 2 successes. So let's go with player wins for the sake of expedience. The ball is tossed into the roulette wheel as it is spun. It eventually lands on one of the black spaces. The chimpanzee claps and slides a handful of the chips over your way. Kit, make a perception roll, please.
All right. Six successes.
While the chips are being slid over and the various animals sitting around the table are making celebratory hoots, hollers, and caws, Kit catches a glimpse of the dark, red-eyed figure as it steps from the shadows briefly to caress the top of the chimp's head before disappearing. Kit notices the chimp's eyes likewise starting to go red and bloodshot.
Okay. Can I do, let's say, wits plus occult to do a little a little spell that blocks the shadow's escape or something?
Sure, that makes sense to me.
That is going to be a and that's and you know what? Let's spend a willpower to make it go. The dice don't like me? Fine. 6 successes. Jeez. Okay.
Well, the vines and branches of the trees bend and block the figure's way. Congratulations, it's trapped here with you. Although the thought comes to mind that mayhaps this was not the most advisable course of action, as the red-eyed chimp begins screaming at the top of its lungs and upends the roulette table.
I grab one of my banana chips and eat it before backing away slowly.
The rest of the animals scatter. But the chimp is advancing on the 3 of you. The red-eyed shadow crouches low and backs slowly away and as close to the walls as it can get. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be able to leave or to want to leave yet. It's hard to tell which.
All right. So, somebody else got the monkey? Because I gotta tell you, this is not my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I can handle the monkey.
All right. Well, you're handling the monkey. I'm going to get a something here. That arm looks pretty damaged. I'm pretty sure I could get a piece of it if I needed to. We've got a machete. I'm going to try and do enough damage that we're going to have a souvenir to go by.
All right, what roll you want to make?
I'm afraid the only one that makes real sense would be like Dex plus weaponry.
Makes sense to me.
I'm not particularly good at that, but I'm willing to burn some resources to try and make it happen anyways. Does anybody have a weaponry die that I could borrow?
I have 2.
Could I borrow those?
Yes.
Thank you. Man, just not feeling me tonight, I guess. Willpower. Well, it's a success.
But it's not enough to do anything with.
Well, he was just attacking, aren't you?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Trying to get something to send to the target with, because we're not here to chase Delilah, and we're clearly not catching them. We're here to chase this thing.
Do 1 bashing damage.
Dang. Doubt that's enough to handle what I need to. Well, you guys have a monkey to deal with.
Well, give me a chance roll, please.
Absolutely.
And we'll see.
No. That's a 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, while the sound your machete makes it clear that it has made contact, it doesn't appear to be enough to sever anything. The figure recedes deeper into the shadows until all you can make out is its red eyes.
Okay. I would like to use Wits plus Animal Ken. To basically intimidate this monkey into backing down.
Can I assist?
All right, at a -4, but anyone who wants to assist, be my guest.
What was the wording on that one? Wits plus animal
Wits
Ken?
plus Animal Ken.
1 from me.
Oh, now I roll well. +5.
You said -4, Kenny?
Yes.
So net of +2.
3 successes.
All right, what are you doing?
I puff myself up real big and yell.
The chimp stops in its tracks, and it begins to circle warily, as though unsure of whether or not now is the best time to attack.
You guys want to do anything else?
Okay.
So are the red eyes still there watching us, or are they gone?
Yes, it's still here. You trapped it in with you.
Okay. Cool. In that case, um, okay. I would like to use wits plus investigation to shine a light on the situation and get rid of the shadows that he's hiding in.
All right, make a roll.
Wait. This isn't a real chimp. This is an imagination chimp.
Yes.
And we're talking about people who've grown up in the last, 30 years.
Mhm.
Chimps aren't scary animals to most people. Chimps are the things that showed up in really crappy buddy movies for the entirety of the 90s. I know what to do.
All right. Well, first let's resolve Kit's action.
Okay.
Describe what you were doing.
So basically, uh, you see me kind of observing things and taking a look back and looking into a couple things as it clicks and a light bulb appears over my head and it illuminates the shadows. So this it doesn't have this he doesn't have any place to hide in anymore.
All right, so you can do just about anything on the subtle shift and paradigm shift list. Which specific one are you going to do? And remember, if you do a paradigm shift, it's going to give you one of the dream infiltrator conditions.
Yeah. So where are the paradigm shifts?
That would probably.
I have a cheat sheet with all the subtle stuff, but not the paradigm.
That is on page 206.
206? Thank you. All right.
No, in Oneromancy, that's going to be 218, 219.
218.
Ah, you're right.
They're very similar lists.
Sorry, I thought I clicked the Oneromancy one.
Okay, here we go. So that's the subtle shifts. So, okay. Okay, here we go. Perform one impossible action Changeling couldn't normally perform, like flying to a single destination. Yada yada yada. Okay. How about grab something made out of shadow or etherealness? Does that count as something?
I mean, you could. What you just said would allow you to do what you said you did.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So go ahead and take the dream infiltrator condition, please.
Okay.
The area is illuminated. Much more so than a stretch of jungle would normally be. There are no more shadows left to hide in behind the trees. The figure that you've been chasing has its back to the wall and stands up, hunched in a posture as though it's going to run. Its shadowy aura is steadily burned away. What you're looking at is a bleached skeleton covered in tatters of leathery flesh and bits of clothes. Almost every inch of its yellowish bones are covered in teeth marks. Its own teeth are stained a bloody red to match the light coming from its empty eye sockets. It hunches up against the wall and opens its mouth, hissing at you like an animal.
Yikes. So, I have no idea how to deal with that, but we are in a chimp that is in a adult human being's brain that isn't so old they would have missed this era of filmmaking. I am going to attempt to invoke the modern understanding of chimps as the cool, playful, funny monkey of terrible film fame. You know, all of those films in the 90s where there was just a monkey with a kid doing silly stuff. So I'm going to try and get the monkey to play monkey see, monkey do with me as I break out expression with juggling and presence, trying to overwhelm the scary monkey into being something less dangerous. We've got some fruit, I've got some stuff to do with it, and I'm an expert juggler. Let's make a movie. All right. Is this acceptable, Kenny?
Sure. Just as long as you get the successes to Oneromancer your way into it.
Yep. All right. 5 successes, an exceptional success. We're getting somewhere. All right.
Alrighty. Let's see. With 5 successes, there's a number of things you can do on the subtle shift and paradigm shift list.
Replace one kind of Eidolon extra with another of the same general type, like replacing a child with an old man or a bus driver with a soldier, or remove one entirely from the scene.
All right, so you want to replace this chimp with a nice chimp, or
A
do you want-
non-threatening chimp, yes.
the chimp briefly disappears before being replaced with a duplicate in the same outfit, much calmer. It moves over to the upended table and begins to pick it up. However, the hedge ghost raises a bony hand, hissing and whispering unintelligibly. The chimp's eyes glow red once more.
Fuck.
It points with its other hand at the 3 of you.
Okay.
Okay, so we just need to deal with the actual threat. As scary as the monkey is, this thing is just going to keep making it more dangerous.
Yep.
Can I grapple it?
If you wish to attempt to grapple the hedge ghost, be my guest.
Four
Alright.
successes.
Well, and by the grappling rules, that is enough to start a grapple. Give me a sec to pull those up, and we can get started with this.
Alright, so that's both of you make a grapple check and see who wins.
Yep.
So I roll it again, right?
Yep.
And the
On a
the
success, inflict no damage with start a grapple. Instant and contested. Strength plus brawl versus strength plus brawl. Alrighty. Is that your strength plus brawl roll? I can't tell if that's the one
Yeah.
you just made.
It's a new one.
Yeah, it's a new one. I have
All
fighting finesse, so my strength is replaced by my dexterity.
Alright, well, you won that. So you get to choose a grapple option.
Which page are those on again?
That is page 185.
So the hedge ghost is effectively a neuron pawn. All right.
For the purposes of this, yes.
Okay.
I'd like
Yes.
to hold.
Alright. Immobilize an opponent. Both characters lose their defense.
Hey!
The chimp's eyes glowing red. It dives into past the others and into the grapple to attempt to assist the hedge ghost. In this case, it joins the grapple successfully, and it was no better than you. So,
Do I have to roll again?
I think it's just he's just including that in the previous contest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'm going to let the others do as they may before the next round of grappling.
All right. Well, the problem here is the hedge ghost. It's pinned. Well, held. Pinned is a different thing. Wanna shoot it?
Yeah. I was hoping to see if we could get some information from it, but I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah,
It doesn't seem to be the communicative type.
yeah,
If you want, I'll try and talk to it first.
that's fine. All right. Yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to pull out my rifle and just shoot it. Okay, so Dex plus that. Okay. 4 successes and the okay. Okay, so it'd be 9 damage before any resistances and anything like that.
Alrighty. Is that your roll for the shot, or
For the shot, yeah.
okay? I was thinking maybe that you made that roll earlier. So let's see. Let's make this an opposed roll. All right. As Kit unlatches his rifle and shoots, the hedge ghost uh, snaps its fingers, and the chimp moves to get in the way of the shot. The rifle pierces through it, and the chimp falls to the ground, dead. All right. Kenzie, it is grapple time.
Three successes.
The hedge ghost has won this. It disengages from the grapple. It backs away, standing up. It roars at you unintelligibly before dissolving into mist and disappearing. The trap that was woven earlier for the ghost, it dissipates.
Kenny, before it completely dissipates, can I take and grab some of the mist with a vial? With dexterity plus athletics?
Make
Or
a
dexterity
roll.
plus larceny?
Make a roll and we'll see.
Holy shit.
Okay. I would definitely say that you're able to get some of the mist.
I hand it to Mr. Relentless Pursuit.
Hi there. So I'm not required to know its name, but I can and describe it. And I've gotten a good look at it, and I've got a bit of it. So I think somewhere in there I should be able to get a lead on it. I burn another two glamour and try and see if we can't follow the ghost.
All right. You can feel the hedge ghost fleeing away from you. It moves in a strange fashion, appearing at one place, disappearing, and heading to the next.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to try to do with this?
The thing is, I don't think we have enough information to be able to really, like we can track him down and try and do this all over again, but he's just gonna bolt again and just gonna rinse repeat. I think we need to try and get more information about this bloke.
How do we do that?
So I am going to try some aneromancy to glean information.
All right.
So I am going to turn to what appears to be a janitor's closet, but when I open the door, it's actually going to be a records room of all the individuals that have passed through this this casino, and see if I can find the hedge ghosts records, get information on them. So wits plus investigation.
All right.
Do you need any help with that?
Sure.
I can assist.
We can get more information about
Enjoy your
About-
one.
right? Every bit counts. If we can get more information on them, we can kind of work with that rather than just reacting to what they're doing.
Alrighty. You've got some bonuses. Well,
10 successes.
that'll get you whatever you want. Do you want to make a subtle shift or a paradigm shift? When
Okay.
you're working with oniromancy, which is to say manipulating someone's dreams for the
Mhm.
folks in the audience, there are two different ways to do so. A subtle shift is, well, subtle. It doesn't, it can help, but it doesn't upset anything. You are, after all, inside someone's dreams. A paradigm shift is much bigger and puts the dreamer on alert. That's the main difference.
So effectively, I have 9 points to work with because it costs 1 to do the aneromancy in the first place. So in that case, let's see here. Is there an option to learn information about a psychopomp or an air pump?
Let's see. I'm looking down the list.
A secret that's deliberately hidden.
Which one is that?
I
'Cause I'm
believe.
reading down the list.
Just a second. So, okay, so number 6, learn a deliberately concealed secret. About the dreamer. Never mind.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
Okay.
Well, with 9, we could go with find something important,
I mean,
uh,
Yeah, that pretty
that'd do it.
much.
or 8, perform one impossible action. Basically, I just wanted to make sure that we are on the same page here. With that many successes, we can do whatever you want.
Yeah, so it
Uh,
looks like I'm getting upgraded from Dream Infiltrator Trader to the next step. Yeah, with doing a paradigm shift.
yes. Give me a sec to just take a look at the shift conditions and so I can remember which is which. You guys don't usually go past Dream Infiltrator. That would be, I believe, Dream Intruder.
Yep.
They're not happy with me right now.
Would we be able to just transfer that shift condition from Dream Intruder over to the ghost with that 9?
Not this term at least.
Yeah, we would have
Okay.
to. We'd have
We'd
to
have to
get
get
another 9.
yeah, with another 10 successes basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
So, you're able to manifest a record room. And while Delilah herself likely doesn't have any knowledge of what this thing is, you are a autumn courtier and are able to call on the weird to provide more information to fill in the gaps. On a guest log, you begin looking through until you find several days earlier a signature that has been very badly crossed out, and printed beside it is a small epithet, the Whispering Bones. Beneath that, where there was a space for the guest to write something, uh, written in an extremely sloppy hand, is so hungry, they bite so hard, eating me, gnawing away. I so hungry, I need to eat or before they eat me.
okay. Now we have something we can work with.
So it's hungry. I know the perfect place to bait it out. We're in a casino. Let's find the buffet.
Yes.
All right. It takes a few moments of wandering to find it. The animal patrons of the jungled casino dream are visibly unhappy as they see Kit move past. Not quite hostile yet, but hackles are raised, teeth are exposed. Eventually, you find yourself uh, at in another clearing where a haphazard array of uh, buffet tables have been set up, circling a small lake. Here, there are several animals: lions, an elephant, birds, uh, quietly waiting to be handed a plate of food by various apes in aprons.
Aprons. Gotcha.
Okay. Um, okay. I'm gonna. Let me see. Yeah, you guys have any ideas on how we can bait the this guy here?
I have one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking wits plus empathy to play on his needs to get down here. We manifest an intercom and talk about the dinner specials?
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, make your rolls and name me a pool.
Sounds like manipulation something.
It was wits plus empathy.
Oh, even better. Right.
4 successes, which is enough to introduce a piece of equipment.
Yep, that definitely is. Kinsey is able to fashion a loudspeaker and microphone out of various bits of bamboo and coconut around the clearing.
Attention all Eidolons! Dinner's now on in the buffet. Come down to get your tasty rabbit stew. He wants rabbit. I just given him rabbit. Not actually giving him rabbit.
Turn the mic off before you said that part.
Yeah, I did. I turned the mic off before I said that part.
Alrighty.
We're offering up the Hassenpfeffer, huh? Better hide, bro.
Well, let's see here. Uh, Give me uh, manipulation plus deception, and this will be an opposed roll.
Manipulation plus what?
Subterfuge?
Subterfuge, sorry. Not deception. Thinking of a different game.
Would you like some help there?
Sure.
No, you don't need any help, actually. I have absolute faith in you.
Yeah, you got this. Yeah, see?
4 successes.
Well,
It's all. See? You didn't need any of our help.
You had the power inside you all along. After several long moments, you can swear that you hear something padding in the underbrush. A moment or two later, from behind the leaves and vines, you can see the red eyes of the hedge ghosts looking around.
I grab my plate and bring it over to the hedge ghost and offer it up.
So you're going to try to give the ghost a peace offering?
Yes.
And I'm going to back off.
The bones of the hedge ghost click against wood as it comes forward a bit. You can see the red eyes glowing within the skull as it carefully takes the plate and starts gnawing. It devours everything on the plate like an animal before looking around. It rasps out slowly and tentatively, as though this is something it hasn't done in a long time. Thank you. More.
What?
You're welcome. Yeah, we can get more.
may I? We are in a kitchen, everyone. We are surrounded by magical ingredients that are magical by the nature of the fact they're all dream stuff. This is my time.
So I would like to roll to assist, and what this is going to look like is Kit pulling out a cookbook that is a specifically for feeding his ranch hands. So large portions and very hearty food.
All right. I I've always read expression being making nice stuff and crafting being making functional stuff. Would you accept a crafts roll on this, or would you prefer expression?
Crafts makes sense.
All right. Well, if I get 3 successes or higher on a crafts roll using magical ingredients, it counts as an exceptional success because of who I am.
So wits plus crafts.
Yes, we're going to be doing wits plus crafts.
Okay. Take seven extra dice.
Well, that's wonderful.
Plus an extra 4 for me, apparently.
All right, so that's 11 plus my own natural 8 is 19. And because it's crafts, I get a reroll on 9s. Are we nuking this from orbit?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Let's give
feed
this
the
guy-
world tonight. I expend one of my willpowers and make this into a rote action. It's dinner rush, baby.
Nice.
Elliot is able to procure and prepare plate after plate for the hungry ghost. It seems able to eat without end. It goes, it finishes off a third, fourth, fifth plate. Somewhere around the dozenth plate, it finally stops, setting down the gnawed bones and looking from side to side. In a much more calm and measured and human voice, it says, "Where am I?"
You're in a good friend of ours' dream. You seem to have been having a bit of a rough time. Would you like help leaving and getting home?
The ghost seems to be distracted momentarily by gaping at its own hands, holding up its bony fingers, looking at each individual tooth mark on them, uh, watching the darkness seep from the bones and the ruined bits of flesh. I didn't make it, did I?
I don't think you did, buddy.
The hedge ghost continues looking at itself for a few moments before slowly and clumsily getting up on its hind legs, or in this case, its human feet. Yes, I belong in the hedge.
Let's get you home. Uh, we head for the exit, helping guide this lost soul out towards the door.
Yep.
The ghost uh, totters its way through the jungle. The motley leading the way. until they come to the doors uh, of the casino. Beyond them, the dreaming roads and the greater hedge. It stops at the door and looks at the three of you momentarily. Thank you.
What was your name?
I don't remember. But tell Mr. Moggins I never found the berries.
Okay. I will. I know the man. We'll get that taken care of for you.
The ghost wanders onto the trod and begins to float a few inches off the ground as it drifts into the hedge, disappearing through the thorns.
I think we've got a friend to go visit.
Yep.
So, where's Screamer hanging out these days?
Probably still at the Goblin Market.
You know, I'm feeling markety. How you guys feeling? Markety?
Yeah, let's go to the market. Go to the market.
After leaving Delilah's bastion, and heading from the dreaming roads back into the hedge proper, it doesn't take too long to find your way onto a trod leading to the Goblin Market. The Thorn Carnival is large and distinct, and the calliope music from the other areas of the carnival easily lead any wanderers towards it. Once in, within about 10 minutes of looking, you're able to find a nightmare tent from which Screamer peddles his wares, and behind it the wagon in which he has his things packed. Screamer is disinterestedly picking his fingernails as he from behind his counter. He has recently swapped out his clothing for a black t-shirt and a denim vest covered in various patches. His brown leathery skin brings to mind the flesh of the hedge ghost, what little there was of it. Luckily, Screamer still has his own normal eyes, yellowed they may be, as he looks up and grins at you, like a badly animated mummy puppet. Hello, you three. What y'all doing here?
Had a question for you, and had a couple of things to talk to about out with your old crewmate if he's still in.
Oh, the old man's doing a little better. He's been talking with the Grimalkins that y'all sent to help take care of him. They're thinking about leaving soon, so this is probably a good idea that you came.
We'll stop on in. So, I had a quick question for you, world traveler that you are.
Yeah?
We got a friend of ours who's Fey-touched, and we're expecting some fun stuff to be going down in the neighborhood over the next little while. Is there anywhere that's particularly safe in the continental U.S. that they might hang out for a bit while the dust settles?
Well, I guess it depends on your definition of safe. Are you talking about from fairies?
Probably.
Well, they got other problems up in Colorado.
Visit up to the slopes probably seems like the safest sort of place to go then.
I'll have I'll have to talk to Delilah then.
We're expecting some problem with the big man himself in the next little bit, and we don't want our friends to get caught up in it where we can.
Screamer whistles through his teeth. I did hear tell down the grapevine that there'd been a bit of a kerfuffle on the Ironside, and that a title was lost. He waggles his eyebrows. I wouldn't suppose the three of you'd gotten your hands on it.
I can honestly say I know nothing of a missing title.
Screamer raises an eyebrow and says, "'Tis a shame. Would be a very expensive item."
I can imagine.
Hey, Screamer,
Yeah?
you got a nightmare that could scare someone back on the straight and narrow?
Well, now you're in talking about my business. I sell all kinds of nightmares, little miss. You want someone to buckle up and fly right? I can help with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I need. I need something to scare someone into going back on their medication.
You should probably disclose the level of paranoia this individual has and the fact that they're one of us.
Screamer reaches up to scratch his scalp under his mohawk. Well, that sounds like something a bit bespoke. But it's been a bit since I did any brewing. Most of these that I got here are free range nightmares, so to speak. But I can mix a few together and make something more specific, something more potent, especially for an order like that. 'Twon't be easy or cheap though.
Well, expensive we can handle. Can you handle difficult?
Difficult I can handle. Expensive, I'm glad to hear. If you've got the money, I've got the nightmare.
I all but shove Kit at him.
I'm sure you're aware of my operation. And I'm sure you know that I'm good for it.
Screamer grins widely. His caressing the countertop with his fingertips as he reaches for several different vials. Oh yes, I heard of you. You're making quite more than those hobs who are trying to shift all human garbage.
It, if you you impress me, there might be I might be returning to talk to you about negotiating a retainer for you.
Having grabbed half a dozen vials, he says, "Now you're speaking me language, lad. I'll toss these in the old still, and we'll get something brewing that'd make Al Capone go straight."
Sounds like a plan. Well, Sounds like you've got some work to do. I do believe we need to have a chat with the old man, though.
Be my guest. He's out in the wagon.
Thanks, Screamer.
He nods, grabbing up his nightmares and heading off towards the other end of the tent.
I gesture Kenzie forward, the person who is most appropriate to have this conversation.
I'm gonna stay with Screamer for this discussion.
All right, so you and me will go up.
Yep. So I knock on the door.
After a moment or two, one of the Grimalkins opens it. The Grimalkin leads you inside. You see the bald head of Moggins, his long white hair hanging limply as as you notice he's packing his bags. He appears to have lost a good bit of weight. His eyes are sallow. And he looks exceptionally pale. A couple other Grimalkins are hovering over his shoulder, as though afraid that he might fall to the floor at any moment. But he looks relatively steady, at least as far as you can see. When he sees you, he grins. "Oh, you three. It's been a while." He grabs a nearby walking stick and, with a lot of effort, pulls himself up. "Well, at least two of you. What can I do you for?"
Well, I think we may have come across a friend of yours.
He cocks his head and says, "What?"
We were out roaming the hedge and ran into a hedge ghost that asked to leave a message for you. Apparently, he was unable to find the berries. We don't know what that meant, but it seemed important to him.
Morgan strokes his chin, his eyes narrowed, and his lips frowning in effort. After several moments, he snaps his fingers and says, "I think I remember. There was a kitchen boy on the staff under me about 15 years back. I asked him to run out and get some hedgeberries for us for a royal function, for a dinner. He never did come back. We ended up having to substitute with strawberries from the Ironside. Not quite as good, but they did the job.
Brady must
Figured
have
the
ran.
kid figured the kid just ran off or got captured by the Fae."
Looks like he had a rough time of it.
"I'd say if you met his ghost, then he must have."
You're looking well.
"Thank you, lass, but I know that you're lying," he laughs.
Heard you were heading off traveling somewhere?
"Oh, yes. Since my duty is done, and the years are catching up with me much quicker than they normally would, I figured it's time to go retire somewhere quiet, because I don't figure I have much more time left, considering how much of mine was borrowed from elsewhere."
Fair enough. Where are you thinking?
"I was thinking somewhere nice and warm, but not as deserty, but not as hot as a desert like it is out in Nevada."
Makes
I,
sense.
I hear San Diego is nice.
Lass, that sounds like a good idea. I thought I might try my luck in California. They still have a lot of gold mines going on down there?
Not so much.
Same rush, different gold.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, thank you very much for delivering the message.
Thank
Would you mind taking some of the Grimalkins with you on your journey?
If there are any who'd like to come, but lass, they are your Grimalkins, are you sure?
But they're not really. They're kind of their own Grimalkins.
Well, isn't that true? They all grow up and leave the nest eventually.
We'll let them know that the option's available and to come talk to you, perhaps.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Um, please let us know before you go off. We'd love to see you off.
I'll do that. I was planning on heading out in about a week.
All right, we'll see you off then. I'll bring you a present to enjoy on your journey.
Well, thank you for coming to see me. I always appreciate seeing a familiar face. Hydrate, everybody. Thank you, Void.
Hydrate. Thank you, Void. All right.
I think here's a natural place to leave it off.
We we reminisce and chat over old times with the old man before we head off on our day.
All right, let's go around the table and do our aspirations.
I can go
All right.
first.
All right.
All right, so I think I step and cleared cranberry zombies because it's all in your head.
Makes sense to me.
We helped out Delilah, so I'm gonna go step and clear on help a friend.
There's your beat and clear the long-term aspiration.
We have not gone antiquing.
Not yet, no.
I do believe I made a friend,
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
and I definitely got in the spirit of things.
Yeah. Take a beat.
Alrighty. So, I think I've taken a step towards finding a warm place in winter.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I would like to step and clear being a party pooper.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, pull myself together. I took steps towards helping out uh, one of my touchstones, so I would consider that uh, progress towards keep pulling myself together.
Makes sense to me.
And then let's see here, and the gentleman's gambit. I was wondering if I could drop that for a different uh, aspiration to be named later.
Sure, it makes sense.
Okay. All right, that's me.
Well, we did not quite properly bust a ghost, but I feel like we dealt with one for Bustin' Makes Me Feel Good.
Mm-hmm.
Return a favor. Delilah spent a decent chunk of money getting my business started back up, and I think I returned that favor by clearing out their head.
Makes sense.
Close the book. We've made some significant progress towards finding stuff out about the Lord of Tales. I think I can mark that one pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Defuse the time bomb. We've set up a meeting aiding to start chipping away at Will's insanity. Additionally, we've also got
Dream being there to help reinforce taking his fucking pills to keep whatever success we make gaining progress. Lots of progress that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And achieve the old dream. I think I'm right about on the verge on that one. I just need to go arrange a circumstance where somebody needs a bar in a hurry. So, step on that one?
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Awesome.
All right. I believe that finishes us up then, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for watching. We're always glad to see you here. Remember, as I was mentioning before we got started today, Onyx Path Game Night is on the 24th this month. You can find out more about it in the Discord here. Well, thanks again and have a good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.